Hello there again. It's Psychic Cynthia here again, Spiritual Psychic Cynthia Killian. And hello and welcome to you, my fellow spiritual psychic companions on the path, my brothers and sisters. Something I've been noticing lately in my work with clients and students and just kind of being out there and about in the psychic buzz is that it seems to be an increase lately in trickster spirits. Seems to be for some reason that is amping up, and I don't know the cause. I have some theories, but I'm not sure enough about those at this time. But yes, I just wanted to make you aware of the trickster spirits, that they do exist. So what is a trickster spirit, if you haven't heard of that? Well, basically, I'm going to make this very simple here. Like all of you are probably aware that there are angelic type spirits. You know, angelic spirits are good, right? Of a higher beneficial nature. They're very loving. They want to help. They're caring and benign in general. So, you know, we're talking about, you know, the divine realm, spirits that come from the divine realm. And, you know, of course, there's your passed on loved ones. Who maybe don't quite fall into that category, but they are, you know, your loving ancestors. So that's a different kind of spirit. And, you know, many of us have been visited by our passed on loved ones or feel their presence. And many of us have felt the presence of an angel or a higher level guide. So you know what that feels like. And then you might also know what a dark entity feels like. You might know, like, just have you ever felt like dark energy, even like, you know, that's not good, that's evil. It's a, you know, dark energy is destructive. It tries to bring us down. It tries to harm us, right? Whereas this, you know, divine energy, as I'm calling it, higher level energy, tries to help us. It's lifting us up. You know, a very perhaps non-judgmental, objective way of thinking of it is that, you know, one is the force of gravity that pulls you down, and the other is the force of levity that pulls you up and causes you to grow. Okay, but there is another major class of spirits that we might call tricksters that are more, you know, ambivalent, and you see these in the mythos around the world. I mean, a perfect example is Loki. If you're familiar with the northern myths, and Coyote and Raven are also trickster spirits from the North American continent in the Native American teachings. And this type of energy, the trickster, is found all around the world. You know, that archetype, but it's not just an archetype, it's a kind of spirit. And so you might feel like, for example, that, you know, there's a spirit in your house causing just a little bit of disturbance. Not so much like it's trying to harm you, but it's messing with your vibe a little bit. Or you're trying to do something and it kind of bothers you while you're doing it. Just a little, okay? And if that's the case, okay, if you're having a trickster spirit, so again, it's you know, it's not really neutral. I wanted to say it was neutral, but that's not quite right. It's ambivalent. It can play either role. I mean, because neutral assumes that it won't make any waves, and trickster spirits definitely have a significance and definitely make waves. And my observation, and there could be much more than this, okay, it's just what I know about it currently, what I've experienced. When I've experienced trickster spirits, they appear to get our attention. You know, they're trying to increase awareness a lot of times, or even if they're not trying to, they will increase awareness. So trickster spirits are trying, I think, a lot of times to bring your attention to something you need to pay attention to. Something, you know, maybe you're doing this one thing, but you really should be doing this other thing, okay? At least according to the belief of the trickster spirit. And just because they think that doesn't make it 100% right, but I think it's worth looking into. Trickster spirits, according to the legends, can also bring knowledge and help rescue us from difficult situations. But, you know, they do it with an uncomfortable type energy. So Yes, they do. They do help open our awareness to things that we may not have wanted to look at, often uncomfortable things, maybe aspects of the shadow, parts of yourself that you're needing to face and own up to, maybe parts of yourself that you're needing to work on. Although you may not work on it. I get that. Sometimes you just look at a part of yourself and, maybe it's not the most positive, and sometimes you just decide to accept that. I think that can be working on it too. So these are some of the roles that the tricksters can play, but here's something significant and important I want to mention here. If you're having a very active trickster spirit, that very well could be a sign that you need to do some psychic cleansing and clearing. In fact, the whole point of this trickster coming through may be to point this out to you. Because if a trickster can get through into your energy field, then it's not too far behind where something else a little less savory could also get through. Or more trickster spirits. I mean, how many tricksters do you want in your life? Probably not too many, I'm thinking. So yes, if a trickster spirit appears, if you feel like there's a little bit of spirit, playing with you in a way that you're not entirely comfortable with. And again, this isn't negative per se. It isn't like quite across that line. It's not like you feel the spirit's trying to hurt you, but it's really just trying to get on your nerves. Ask it what it's trying to teach you. If it's trying to teach you anything, it might just be playing with you. Ask it if it's trying to make you aware of anything. Of course, you can't always know with a trickster spirit if they'll tell you the truth. So you might have to figure it out on your own. But yeah, do some psychic cleansing and clearing. That's a sign that a portal is open in your life that is allowing spirits to come through that are different than of the higher nature. So it's definitely needed. And then, do that. Do some clearing and cleansing. Maybe do it once, twice, 3 times. If after doing your clearing, certainly 3 times on different days, I might add, if that trickster spirit still remains, then there's a strong chance that that trickster is there for you, to teach you, has a higher purpose. And if that case, I would suggest making friends with it. In general, I would not make an enemy, though, of a trickster spirit. And, if one of the ways you can tell it's a trickster spirit is if you kind of yell at it, and not that I do this personally, but I've known clients who will yell at it or get really mad and tell it has to go, and they get kind of confrontational, and usually the trickster spirit will just laugh at you. So they have excellent senses of humor, actually. It's one of the things I enjoy about the trickster spirits. But again, you may not want too much of this around, so go ahead and do a clearing and cleansing if that shows up. And then if your trickster spirit stays around, then you probably don't have too much to worry about with it. But if it goes away, then you can know, hey, it probably just came to tell you that you needed to do a clearing. All right, I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions about the topic, you could post them below. If it's something I can answer, I will. If I can't answer it, I probably won't, right? Alrighty, until next time, wishing you much blessings and peace.